AGLAEA, our gold-weaving demigod of romance and our first limited 5-star Remembrance character. A character with so many similarities to so many characters that also manages to be unique and fascinating in her own way. She has Kafka's eyes, Herta's knack for making puppets, and Argenti's connection to the path of beauty. But she manages to put her own spin on every single aspect while being a Remembrance character. And what if I told you that this also has a reason? Because, you see, I don't think that characters have in-game paths for no reason. On the contrary, it is my goal to prove that every single character's in-game path has a hidden connection to their life. And for two reasons. One, because it would be boring to believe that all of these are just meaningless, and two, because Hoyo does not do things for no reason. And just like AGLAEA, it is my goal to weave together these threads into a tapestry so that you can all appreciate its beauty. So let's get into this, shall we? Honkai Star Rail in-game paths explained. Okay, so let's go over what we currently know about our Gold Weaver. AGLAEA is a woman who wears many hats. She is one of the leaders of the Chrysos heirs, a renowned seamstress and a skilled fighter capable of dispelling small amounts of the Black Tide by herself. She also has multiple memo sprites that she calls garment makers, that all seem to have their own personalities, all of which are loyal to her to the death. She received her core flame from the Titan of Romance, and her demigod ability is her golden threads, which are much stronger than they look. In fact, they seem to be nearly unbreakable since they are capable of binding the copy of the Strife Titan in place. Her golden threads also allow her to detect truth from lies, and they also allow her to sense things from what seems to be all over Akima, which in turn boosts her perception. Lately, I've been seeing way too many memes about AGLAEA being blind, which she isn't at all. She literally tells us she isn't blind. I don't know why people have been saying that. The Enigmata followers are just all over the place these days, I guess. Anyway, besides her superhuman abilities, AGLAEA in her spare time weaves together clothing. But since she has an impossibly high standard for her own work, she rarely comes out with a product that she's truly satisfied with. But much to the citizens' delight, she does release her failed projects to the public, which quickly becomes a fashion trend. She herself doesn't like this, but she doesn't care enough to stop them. She also believes that if people are so concerned with fashion with the end of the world quickly approaching, then the Chrysos heirs must be doing a pretty good job. So that is AGLAEA in a nutshell. But it is very strange that she happens to have so many similarities to other characters. So I just have to address this. Her eyes look so similar to Kafka's, and I just can't ignore it. She also uses golden threads while Kafka uses purplish ones. Yes, I am aware that Kafka's contacts make her eyes look like that, but hear me out, this'll all make sense. But upon further inspection, Kafka and AGLAEA are polar opposites, but exactly the same. Let me explain. You see, both of their abilities revolve around cognition. Kafka uses hypnosis and AGLAEA uses her threads to witness the truth straight from what appears to be a person's soul. Kafka tells you what she wants you to believe, but AGLAEA witnesses what you truly believe. See? Similar abilities that are entirely opposed. Then you realize that gold and purple are on opposite sides of the color spectrum wheel. But right when you think they are entirely different, you realize that both are using their abilities to do everything they can to save the world, or the universe in Kafka's case. Kafka also has a strange condition that doesn't allow her to feel fear, which is strange because AGLAEA often speaks on this coldness and indifference she feels creeping into herself as her life progresses. AGLAEA also follows a broken prophecy set by Kefali, but she isn't entirely aware of what the future holds, as if their prophecy is on a need-to-know basis, which is eerily similar to Kafka and Elio's relationship in the whole script deal. So they have similar eyes, demeanor, condition, and motive, but their abilities work in opposite ways and their methods are also mirrored along with their color scheme. What a wild juxtaposition we have here, don't we? Do with that analysis what you will. Don't worry, I promise the next comparison will be a bit more simple. Because AGLAEA's garment maker is also similar to Herta's puppets. Yes, funny little detail here, our favorite genius narcissist of course makes all of her puppets in her own image. but she also seems to hold appreciation for each and every single one of them. This is the same woman who doesn't take the time to know the names of her staff members, by the way. But Herta appreciates her puppets so much that she has a policy that whenever she breaks one that malfunctions, she never destroys the head and always sends them back to the repair center. But AGLAEA, on the other hand, even though she does have some appreciation for her many garment makers, she kinda just throws them down a mass grave when they break, referring to them as a nameless soldier. Must be that coldness I mentioned earlier. I mean, at least Herta gives them a number. That at least makes them unique. Nameless soldier? Ugh. Nevertheless, the garment makers seem to hold AGLAEA in the same regard as Herta's simping puppets. One more thing. AGLAEA, just like Herta, can siphon information from her garment makers to herself via the golden threads, just like how whatever the Herta puppets learn goes directly into Herta's mind, if of course she wants that information. Okay, so character comparisons out of the way, let's get into the core of AGLAEA's character, that being the concept of beauty and romance. And you'll see exactly why I combine the two. Okay, so here's where things are gonna get a little complicated again. Because beauty is something subjective, even for the Aeon of beauty in Drilla, since they are the Aeon of seeing beauty in the world, and this viewpoint is said to be ever-changing. And this makes perfect sense because so far everyone with a connection to the beauty has a different viewpoint on it. Let me explain. We only know one follower of the beauty, and that would be our knight Argenti, who sees beauty as the concept of dedication. But AGLAEA sees beauty as love, affection, and appreciation, just like Nestia, the romance type. But this isn't the only place where AGLAEA has ties to Drilla. No. Because this is where it gets weird. In the description for Drilla, it says there is beauty in a stretch of fabric, which has AGLAEA written all over it. The only way it could be more on the nose is if it said there is beauty in a stretch of golden fabric. With this similarity in mind, if AGLAEA were to follow a path in lore, she would undoubtedly follow the beauty. But that's beyond the sky, so who knows? Maybe she's the reincarnated version of Drilla. Rumor has it she can be resurrected, right? Argenti and the Knights of Beauty have been looking for her this entire time, but she's been on Amphoreus this whole time! I don't know. Anyway, crackpot theories aside, now, with all of this in mind, I guess you are wondering, why is AGLAEA Remembrance then? To which I would reply, I already told you. Because in case you're not familiar with Fu Li, this Aeon's grand scheme is to recreate the universe after its destruction using the combined memories of everyone and everything left behind. AGLAEA's goal is to piece together what is left of her world using golden threads. And what are her golden threads again? Information and truth, aka pure memories. Because memories at their core are just information. And it is for this reason that she can dispel the black tide. Because the black tide causes madness and trickery hides within it. But the golden threads can tell truth from lies and restore what was corrupted. Her job quite literally is to recreate the world through memories. Not to mention, Amphoreus is a land interwoven with memories anyway. That is why she is Remembrance. Her life mirrors Fu Li's entire goal. And that is AGLAEA's Path of Remembrance explained. Not gonna lie, AGLAEA has become one of my favorite Amphoreus characters so far.
But no, she almost killed us.
No, she didn't. She said herself that she had no intention of killing us. Plus, we broke the promise anyway. We kind of deserved it. Let's be honest here. You can't go to a foreign land, make a promise to the leader, break it in less than a day, then expect to get off scot-free. The fact that she gave us a second chance at all was enough for me to trust her. She's a real one for that. But what do you guys think? Be sure to let me know, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace, y'all.